Punters, here we go. We're coming up to the big Golden Eagle Day at Rosehill, and what a great time to get this guy in. He is having a huge month at the moment. Focuses mainly on Sydney town, and so why not talk to him? Tom Haylock from racing.com. How are you, mate?
I'm very well, mate. Yeah, exciting time of year, obviously. Things are heading up. The Golden Eagle, $7.5 million, if you don't mind. It's a phenomenal race. It's been a success so far, and obviously last year was on a very wet track, so a bit different this year.
Yeah, very different, in fact. And look, hey, that's a good cue to start the chat, Tom. I was going to sort of just point out some things about this Rosehill track that I'm sure you're aware of. Punters are probably going to become very aware of shortly. Haven't had a lot of racing. I currently rated a good 4. Not much rain predicted. I think the irrigation will probably top off whatever's going to be at least planning to come, if we can trust the weatherman. Just interested to start off with that sort of lack of history and recent history, that is. And I think Rail's true as well. Looking like a hard track. What sort of assumptions are you going to make about how the track will play on the day, mate?
Yeah, first thought is naturally good tracks suits those up on speed. Rosehill is generally good for that, especially from the shoot starts. So the 1100 metre starts, I always look for inside barriers. The 1500 metre Golden Rose, Golden Eagle. Yeah, I'll be looking for those drawn up and in, inside fence. If the track is wet and then drying, it tends to favour those on the rail as well. So generally on Saturday, I'll be looking for horses that are going to be on speed. I think there's a couple of chances in the Golden Eagle this year that probably drawn back and wide. Private Eye might be one of those that just might struggle to get into the race. So it's a really interesting day. Obviously, come race 7 or 8 in the program, the Golden Eagle will get a fair idea. And as a punter, I generally look for patterns early and tend to leave my betting till late.
Yeah, okay, great. Look, obviously the 1500 metre course, look, on paper, certainly there's a nice sort of straight run till they hit the first turn. Just wondering if you could give punters a bit of an insight into how you see that particular course at Rosehill. Are you any characteristics you're looking for in the horse to take advantage of the sort of bias you spoke to? I mean, we're looking at certain barrier positions. You just spoke to Private Eye, sort of drawing in the car park. Maybe that's not ideal. Any penalties or favours that you're giving to certain combinations of barrier position, early gate speed, and characteristics in the run?
Yeah, I don't mind the wide barriers if they can cross and find the front. I think that's a bit of a myth in terms of wide barriers. I think it can suit good horses and some certain pattern horses, especially those with gate speed. If they can work across, Nature Strip's a perfect example. If I much prefer Nature Strip to be drawn a wide barrier because he can work into the race and exactly like he did in the Everest. But yeah, over the 1500 metres, as you said, there is a decent run of the first turn, which is good. Horses will find their position, and that decent run into a turn can often change the pace a little bit because horses have a bit of time to find their positions, and then they can drop anchor. And once they lob into their positions, they can obviously drop the tempo a little bit, and rather than working to find positions around a bend where that can put a large tempo in. Yeah, I'll be penalising those on the Golden Eagle on a firm Rosehill track that are drawn wide and get back. So I just think that the horses that someone like Ellsberg's drawn perfectly, there's enough speed in the race that can, they'll set a decent tempo this Golden Eagle, but Ellsberg just draws that perfect suck run in behind the speed. So I've got Vangelic, Acer, Apache Chase, who else is there? Love Tap even might take a sit. I think Love Tap and Ellsberg are the 2 map horses that will settle in behind the speed, and they're the ones that I will promote, the horses that have enough speed to be up on speed and get a soft run.
And some nice prices around some of those horses you're mentioning there too, Tom. Hey, look, early days, obviously barrier draw yesterday on Tuesday. So very fresh. Don't expect you to have done all your homework or even probably started much of it at the moment. But look, you mentioned a couple of horses that obviously you're starting to think about it. Something for punters, Tom. What anything you're looking at this stage as a bit of a watch for the Golden Eagle?
Yeah, it is tough. I think the best and the safest bet is Ellsberg. He obviously comes through the lead up the Silver Eagle. Aim beat him there. It was a bit of a messy race. I think this horse is flying. I love what they did with him this campaign. They took the gear off. They've got him to settle. And I used to think he was a control freak up on speed, but he's trying that ability to settle now. He draws to get the perfect run. And I think he's the horse that won't run badly. Aim will get back in the ruck, and I've demoted him a little bit because of that. He gets his firm track. I liked him first up, so that was a good result for me. But I think Ellsberg can turn the tables on him. He just maps perfectly. I really wanted to be with Private Eye, but I am, and we talked a lot about the track and the pattern, I am a bit concerned about where he gets to. So I think the horse is flying, and he's, if they are making ground, I'll promote him later in the day. But just as we come to you, record this earlier in the week, it is tough to establish that pattern, but I am looking for those on paces. And I think Ellsberg fits the bill. I think he's flying, and I think he'll definitely run top 3 or 4.
Look, I think you set a great picture in punters' minds there, Tom. And look, the last question to ask is, look, where can punters find your information for the big meet at Rosehill, the big Golden Eagle meet, mate?
Yeah, I'll do all the form for racing.com. So log on to racing.com and all my selections will be there. I try to give an educational story along the way why I like certain horses. And punting and tipping are completely different things. And there's times where I obviously change pending pattern. I can only predict the future in terms of track and pattern to what's happened in the past. And that's what I'll be doing for Rosehill this Saturday, looking for those horses up on speed. And I think the way the track will play, but like I said, if they're coming wide and for some reason, Private Eye might get promoted and stuff like that. So racing.com for me, you'll find all my stuff Saturday morning updated after scratchings.
Oh, that's fantastic, Tom. Hey, look, thanks for making the time, mate, to come in and talk to us today, mate. And look, all the very best, and for your continued success into the future, mate.
Thanks very much, Damien. Cheers.
Good on you, Tom.